Hello and welcome to a Cities Skylines tips, tricks, and tutorial video. I'm Exterminator and thank you for joining me. So, yeah, this first one here is going to be more kind of a tips and tricks oriented video. It's going to be the top 5 things you may not have known. And that's kind of a dumb sounding title, isn't it? But that's what it's going to be. So, there's a lot of people playing this game. And I'm going to try to jump right to the point here, but there's a lot of people playing this game, a lot of new players, a lot of simulation veterans, a lot of Cities Skylines veterans so far even, but there's still a few things that I see commented on like Reddit and the forums and stuff. You know, people will say, oh, I didn't know that, I wish I'd known that, would have been so much easier. So I'm going to give you the top 5 things, at least in my opinion, that are not necessarily stated blatantly and that are actually quite useful to know. So let's get right to it here and start with number 1. The first one is very simple, and it's amazing how many people don't know this, but I mean, it's not really said directly anywhere, like right out in the open, so it's kind of understandable, but so we know you can raise and lower roads with page up and page down, or whatever your key binding is, right? Page up raises it, and if it's already raised, page down lowers it, right? Okay, well, a little known thing is you can actually do that with power lines, believe it or not. I didn't know this for quite a while, and it seems quite a few new players don't know it either, which is completely understandable. You can actually raise power lines. So say, for example, I wanted to go like over this bit right here, right? What I would do is come here, page up, and you see how it goes like a pylon, a really tall pylon? Like that. If you do that, boom, you can go right over the things. And I think you can actually raise it up one level. No, that's about as high as you can go right here. So that's 1, 2. So you can raise it up 2 levels, not quite as many as roads, but you can actually raise them, which is so incredibly useful. You know, for like going over highways like this. Like, if I could fit this, I can't. I can fit it right in there. See, so normally you wouldn't be able to do that, because if you see, if they're ground level, they won't go under this, right? It's impossible. There's no way. Doing it like this, however, is very nice, being able to do this. So just page up to raise it, and then once it's raised, page down to lower it. You can do this with power lines. Very useful to know. Alright, on to number 2 is you can actually change the color and the name of your transit lines, whether it be metro or bus lines or whatever it may be. You can do it. Now, it's a little difficult to find if you don't already know. I mean, a lot of people may not know you can do that, period. But even if some people kind of know you can, it's like, you go to your transit thing here, and there's no option. You can't click on anything. There is no way to do it through here. What you actually want to do is make sure you don't have this selected, because when you do that, you're not going to be able to click on what you need to. So what you want to do is you want to go to this transit port thing, which is an overview rather than the actual building mode. And you want to find one of your actual transit vehicles. So let's go to a metro here. We find one of the little guys going, here we go. Here's a metro. You click on it, again, in this menu up here, because see, if you go here and do it, it's gonna, you're in a build mode. You can't actually click on it, right? So what we want to do is go here, click on him, and click modify line, right? And you can change the color and the name up here. So let's just say Bob's Metro Line. And let's say Bob, well, you know, he's a little strange. Let's say he kind of likes, he likes pink. Maybe that's not strange. I know a lot of people who like pink. So you can change the colors. Boom, got it. And okay, so we have a bus here too. Okay, so here's a bus. Let's do this, and let's name this Wonky Crazy Bus Liners. You know, whatever. It can be pretty damn long, actually. I don't even know. Okay, there's a limit. But it's quite long. Let's just say line-ers. And, okay, I mean, blue's quite a nice color, but, I mean, we're going kind of crazy here, so let's go with a, kind of a lime, bright lime green. Bam. We changed the color, we changed the name, and perfect, good to go. And these lines are all changed. So that's how you do that. Okay, third thing is you can actually use cargo terminals for in-city transport. Now, a lot of people, obviously, the cargo terminal, it's for your industrial shipping goods out and bringing them in. We all know that. You can connect it to the outside, and it saves a lot of traffic on the road, so on and so forth. I'm not going to go into that, but you can see, I have not connected this to our outside connection line, which is right here. It is not connected anywhere. However, and I mean, this one's maybe a little bit more obvious, but I think there's people who don't utilize this enough or just don't know it if you're just starting. Don't think about it, just one of the things that slips your mind is we have one here on this side of town with our industrial, boom. We have another one over here by our industrial, which is another part of our town across the highway. And they are connected only to each other. They are not connected to the outside line. And you can see, even right now, there's a train heading there. We caught it at a perfect time. Let's unpause. Boom, he's going from there. If we pause, click on it. He's not particularly full, because we don't really have that much. But he goes here, he'll pull in, and boom, all these guys leave. And where are they going? Over here. So they're using this, not necessarily exclusively, but they are using this to go bring goods from here to over here, and from here to over here, vice versa, without taking up traffic. Not taking up, you know, contributing to. Which is a major thing. Very important to know and to try to utilize whenever you can. But it should be noted that trains, cargo trains, do generate quite a lot of traffic themselves, obviously, but if it's not connected to the outside world, it won't generate nearly as much. Pretty much just what would generate anyway, from going back and forth. Alright, fourth thing is that you can actually, and this one, this one is kind of just a little, kind of a little funny thing, but it can actually be useful. You have your bird here, right? Let's see if we can find one. You know how people tweet in this, chirp, whatever you want to call it? You can actually, if there's actually someone who has their name in here, there will be them. I might not be able to find an example. You can actually find someone through this. It looks like we haven't gotten one. But they're, okay, here we go. Sorry, my bad. So you click on their name, the person who tweeted it, and it will bring you to where they are. Now, that's not necessarily always helpful, but it is kind of good to know. So, let's see if we can find one. Thought I saw one about a fire here. So, this guy, Tyler Jones, who apparently found a wallet, is over here. And, I mean, you can do this with a lot of people, with pretty much anyone who tweets. So it's really actually kind of useful, you know, if you see someone pop up and say something about a, you know, a fire or whatever, you can click their name here and it will bring you to where they are, which is quite useful. Very, very useful. Alright, so just a kind of a little funny one that may not be that helpful, but in the right situation it can be. And lastly, another one that is maybe pretty obvious, but that may not, you know, if you're new to City Sim games, you may not think about. is parks and public transportation actually affect industrial. Which, you know, I mean, this may seem like a really dumb thing for me to mention, but I think it is worth mentioning. You know, like, who would think someone working in an industrial factory needs a park right by him? You know, they're busy working in there, but I guess they want to go hang out or whatever, play chess, take a smoke, whatever, but you give them a park and it makes them happy. Industrial. So we know all this is industrial. Bam. It doesn't do it quite as much as residential and commercial, but it does help because you will need to increase your industrial, the level of the buildings and the land value of them, so that they can get the more educated workers and stuff, so they don't always need low educated workers, because that will become a problem. And you see some of them already upgraded. This one here is level 2, you know, and it wasn't that way before the park. And then also, very quickly here, let's add in some buses. So let's say we want to take from here. Whoops. I think... Okay, we want to go from here to here. And you can see all the happy faces popping up. I mean, obviously this is a terrible circuit. I'm just doing it as an example. Okay, that one got a little messed up. Okay, boom, there we go. You can see all the happy faces. And if we unpause, probably some more people will start upgrading eventually. You can see those arrows that just popped up. They're all upgrading. So just a little thing to throw out there. Parks and public transit do, in fact, affect industrial happiness and land value. And it can be quite useful because you probably will run into a problem where your education level of your citizens is higher than the basic industrial area requires, so they will need workers, and this is a good way to fix that. So yeah, I think that is going to be it. That is the 5 things, at least in my book, that a lot of people may not know about but are extremely good to know and can be quite useful. So I do hope this was helpful to people. If you have any further questions or comments, you know, if you want to leave feedback in the comments, that would be great. I would love to hear suggestions for the next video or the one after that. Any suggestions you have are more than welcome. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time.